Okay, so you said that you need a little bit of a hand with the fraction ones. So let's have a look. So remember, the aim of the game is we want to try and get x by itself there. Okay, so if you were to read this, right, I start with the x. The first thing I did, so x times 3, then I divided by 2, and then I added 9. So what we want to do is now we want to reverse that. So that means the first thing we have to do is get rid of this plus 9. Now what's the opposite of plus 9? Yep, I'm going to take 9. So technically I'm taking 9 from this side and I'm taking 9 from that side. So when I take 9 from the left hand side, that 9 disappears and it's just minus 5, take 9 on the other side. Now you have to think a little bit about your negative numbers, right? What is minus 5 take 9? So I give 5, I give another 9, so that equals minus 14. Now, again, we've done that. Now, x times 3 divided by 2. The last thing we said was divide by 2, so that's the first thing we have to undo now. So that becomes, get rid of the divide by 2, we're going to times the other side by 2. Okay? Again, technically we're timesing both sides by 2, but when I times the left by 2, the 2's cancel out. So bring it over here, get rid of the divide by 2, times the other side by 2. So now I'm left with 3x equals 14 times 2, that's 28. And we're nearly there, so 3 times something equals 28. So I want to get rid of that times 3. So the opposite of times 3 is to divide by 3. And so again, we divide, yes, technically both sides by 3, but I like to say get rid of that times 3 and we do to the other side the opposite. So it's 28 divided by 3. Now, check, is there a number that goes into 28, 8 and 3 apart from 1? Nope. So we leave it like that. And we're done. So hopefully that makes sense. So start off, read the question. So x times 3 divide by 2 plus 9. The last thing you said is the first thing you're going to undo. Okay, now let's have a look at this one. The first thing that we used to do, that we did in class, was we wrote this a little bit differently. So timesing by a quarter, that is the same as if it's minus 8 minus 3x all over 4 equals 5. So now again, suss this, x times negative 3, we're adding 8 and then we're dividing by 4. So the last thing I said was to divide by 4, so that's what we're going to undo first. And how do I undo a divide by 4? I hope you're saying times 4, and we do that to the other side. So 5 times 4. So now I'm left with 8, take 3x equals 20. Now remember, the x and the 3, they're best buddies, so they're going to be separated last. So we have to get rid of this 8 first. Now we look in front, don't look behind, look in front, and that's a positive 8. So how are we going to get rid of a plus 8, positive 8? We have to take 8. So I'm going to take 8 from this side, and when I do that, I'm left with minus 3x. What I do to one side, I do to the other side. So I take 8 from the other side. So now I'm left with minus 3x. 20 take 8 is 12. Now you could solve it from here. Minus 3 times what gives me 12? So if you can't see what it is, to get rid of a times, we're going to divide. So that means x is 12 divided by negative 3. And you won't leave it like that. We'll say, okay, a positive and a negative gives you a negative, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. And that's your answer. All right, we'll just do one more, maybe one with brackets and with some x's on both sides. Okay, let's try this one. It sort of incorporates quite a few of the questions that you've got there. So you should be able to go through and expand all the brackets that you see. So on the left-hand side, we know that that's a time. So everything in the bracket has to be multiplied by 5. So 5 times 2 is 10. Now a positive times a negative is a minus. 5 3s are 15. And then we've got the x there. It says equals, I put equals. So if you're working underneath, it's going to be really easy. Now, as tempted as you might be to say 4 take 2 is 2, you cannot do that, okay? Because there's that times there. We know order of operations. You have to do the multiply first. So keep the 4 underneath. Now minus 2 times x, a negative times a positive is a negative. And a negative times a negative here, so a negative and another negative makes a positive, and 2 times 7 is 14. So hopefully that made sense to you. Now, with the left-hand side, can't really do anything, so I just leave it as it is. On the right-hand side, we're going to gather our like terms. So 4 plus 14 is 18, and we've got the take 2x. Okay, now we want to get our x's on the one side, non-x's on the other. Personally, I'd probably put the minus 15 on the right, but from what we've learned in class, everyone likes to put their x's on the left-hand side. So we have to get rid of this minus 2x. Now we look there with the minus, so how do I get rid of a take 2x? Well, we have to plus 2x. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Okay? And I'm going to ignore that 10 for the moment because you'll see now, look, keep what's in front of the 15, so that is a minus 15x. And I'm going to add the 2x. Now on the right hand side, I've still got the 18, and the x's now all gone. So minus 2x plus 2x, no x's, all gone. But what about this 10? I want to get rid of it. So once again, I look in front and it's a plus 10. So how do I get rid of the plus 10? We're going to take 10. And again, I'm going to do that. Right, you do it to the other side. So yes, technically you're taking 10 here so they cancel, but then I have to take 10 on this side as well. So I've said it a few times in class. I don't like to write these coloured bits here. I just go straight to this line. So now let's gather our like terms. Minus 15 plus 2 is minus 13, so check your negatives. And 18 take 10 is 8. How do I get rid of a times negative 3? Absolutely, you have to divide by, and that's times negative 13, you have to divide by negative 13. And there's your answer. So hopefully that helps you get into the swing of things in your assignment. Do the best you can, and good luck to you.